Cruise news time, and look, it's happening again. A cruise is being canceled mid-cruise, passengers being forced to return home early. Wow, what a bummer this would be. This plus a whole lot more. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates, and welcome to the show. It is Friday, the 14th of January, 2022, and I am just 2 short days from a cruise on Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas out of Port Canaveral, going to St. Martin, going to the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, and going to the perfect day at Coco Cay. I've heard from a lot of people that you'll be on the cruise on the Harmony of the Seas. Just remember, I'm voice activated. Feel free to come up and say hello. And yeah, it'll be good to meet you on the Harmony of the Seas. And also a reminder, it's Friday, which means it's my weigh-in day. I've completed 1 week of Weight Watchers, and we're tracking along with that over at the Have to Lose YouTube channel. So if you want to see if the big man gained this week or lost this week, go make sure you're a part of that Have to Lose community, and by 3 or 4 o'clock today, you'll be able to see a video of how I did this past week. I'm gonna poker face you. Did I gain? Did I lose? On to the cruise news. All right, cruise news. Let's just jump into the headline story. What's the hubbub, bub? Well, the hubbub is this. We have another Norwegian cruise ship, this time the Norwegian Gem, canceling their cruise just after it began. A few days into the cruise, the Norwegian Gem made its way to St. Martin, and a letter was given to passengers yesterday saying that due to COVID-related circumstances, the cruise is over. We're going to leave St. Martin and go back to New York, cutting this 10-day cruise short. That would be, could you imagine that? Could you imagine going to your dinner and going to the show and rolling some hot dice in the casino and getting back into the cabin and all of a sudden realizing it was your last night on the cruise or your last day, because, well, I mean, you're going to have a couple days to get back to New York, I suppose, but that would be a bummer. Are you on the Gem? I would love to hear from you. Let's leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 2. We've got cruising returning to Charleston, South Carolina. How about that? A popular cruise port there on the East Coast, popular for Carnival cruisers. We have the Carnival Sunshine starting back her cruising season from Charleston yesterday down into the Caribbean. It's been 2 years, almost 2 years since we had cruising in Charleston. So that's exciting. Again, we're always looking for those positive signs that cruising is continuing to restart and another home port opening back up. The Sunshine has been in service for a little bit. Remember, she took over some of the cruises for the Horizon once the Horizon was unable to propult, is that a word? When the propulsion issues struck the Horizon, the Sunshine's got that new livery paint job, the new blue. I like it. Again, we talked about it the other day. Some people said, I just like the old white, classic white. The only thing I didn't like about the white is on some of the older Carnival cruise ships, you could see a lot of rust. And one thing I don't want to see when I'm getting on the cruise ship, I don't want to see a rusty hull. I don't know why. Rusty hull. Wouldn't that be like good, like part of the Hull family in hockey? Rusty hull. But yeah, I don't like a rusty hull. I like the blue livery, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Congratulations, Charleston. Cruising has restarted for you. Cruise news story number 3. Another cruise line requiring boosters. And the cruise lines are getting bigger. This time, TUI Cruises in Germany requiring a booster shot. And this booster requirement is kind of the way that I think booster requirements will work. They have time bounded. So not everybody needs the booster shot. So if you have been vaccinated within the last 3 months, TUI not requiring a booster. But if you were vaccinated longer than 3 months ago, TUI does require a booster. So if you want to be on any of those Mein Schiff ships in Germany, you got to have the booster if it's been longer than 3 months since you were vaccinated, and you had to get the booster shot over a week ago. So the booster requirements, the booster rules are starting to come into play. And again, we're getting into some bigger cruise lines now as we're talking about TUI. It's still happening over there. It's still happening in Europe, not here in the US. So again, we'll keep an eye on it. and see what happens. All right, we're about halfway through the cruise news stories. Again, please stick around. I need your input on this tipping question. But before we get to the rest of the news, the rest of the show, let me quickly invite you to subscribe if you like staying up to date with everything in cruising. Please that was a horrible drum roll. Cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes, and that way you can be in the know, and we can also signal to YouTube that the show was good. So you help me out, I'll help you out. We'll scratch each other's back virtually. Okay, it's getting a little creepy. Thank you in advance. Subscribe, notification bell. Welcome to all the new people. Back to the cruise news. Cruise news story number 4, we have an extension of the cruise shutdown in Brazil. I talked to you last week about the cruise shutdown in Brazil. It was supposed to last until January the 21st. They have extended that out another 15 days, another 2 weeks. They will now not start cruising back up in Brazil until February the 5th. And it's important to note that that's the cruise lines voluntarily shutting down while they continue to work with the government there in Brazil to figure out how to go forth safely. Cruise news story number 5, let's talk about Aida Cruises. Aida Cruises now going away from allowing passengers to explore the ports on their own that they're going back to bubble-only excursions. Only excursions purchased through the cruise line. That's the only way that you can get off the ship. Aida also recommending a booster, not requiring a booster, but tightening up their protocols. Aida primarily, again, in Germany, in Europe, and so tightening up the protocols, bubble excursions, and recommending a booster. Cruise news story number 6, both Royal Caribbean and Celebrity are extending their Cruise with Confidence program. The Cruise with Confidence program allows passengers to cancel their cruise up to 48 hours before the cruise starts. So you can run all the way into the week of your cruise and still cancel, and it gives you the options for moving to a future cruise, taking some future cruise credit. The policy now covers cruises booked through March the 31st, 2022 that sail by September the 30th, 2022. Again, if you cancel it 48 hours, up to 48 hours before your cruise, 100% future cruise credit, and then you have to use that future cruise credit within a year of the sail date or by December the 31st, 2022. So yeah, you got some options if you're on Royal or Celebrity. All right, let's tackle this tipping question. I would love your input on it. This question was in the comments yesterday from Deborah Haycox. It says, I wondered if you could please talk about gratuities in regards to the specialty dining on cruise ships. We're not sure if you are expected to tip or not. If so, how much is acceptable? Thanks, Deborah. Deborah, that's a great question. I'll tell you how I approach it, and then please, in the comments, everybody, how would you approach it? Most specialty dining has gratuity included, and most specialty dining at the end of the meal will present you with a ticket to sign, and you'll be able to see what gratuity was included, but on that ticket, many times there is a line for additional gratuity. And so you've already tipped, right? That's the news flash. You have already tipped most of the time on specialty dining. It's going to be on there. So if you see gratuity, you could just sign and you've already tipped. However, if you give me an additional gratuity line, I'm gonna tip additional. And so for me on specialty dining, depending what the price of the specialty dining is, I will usually tip anywhere between $5 and $10 for additional gratuity. Or if it's, you know, some amazing kind of experience or whatever. Again, I feel like I'm tipping more during the restart than I was probably previously. So maybe I put $20 down. It just depends. But certainly for folks out there that don't want to double tip, just pay attention to the piece of paper that they give you. If you see a thing that says gratuity already with a number by it, then you have already tipped. I hope that helps. But yeah, there'll definitely be a line there that says additional gratuity. That's the question for the comments. When it comes to specialty dining, do you just stick with the gratuity that was built into the price, or do you tip additionally? And if so, how much? Boom, that's your cruise news. You can also sound off about any of that. Thanks so much for checking out the show today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can indicate that you enjoyed it by hitting the like button. If you didn't, you could hit the dislike button, and I could mumble things about you under my breath. But anyways, look, if you don't hit the like button, then I'm forced to give you a punishment, and the punishment I'm going to give you is this. You're going to be playing your first round of virtual golf with your friend John from the Ship Show. You know, you're going to be playing it on the virtual reality, and you hadn't charged your batteries, and all of a sudden you got a 2-stroke lead going into hole 8, and the whole thing dies, and you have to forfeit because you can't play anymore. I would have had my first victory. That's going to happen to you. I know it's very specific, but that's going to happen to you. This is Tony with La Lido Loca. That's a weird punishment today. The Tony with La Lido Loca. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Do you want to see John and I play golf virtually? We'll see you on the Lido.